On the night of June 11, 1962, 3 inmates at Alcatraz prison put their daring escape plan into action. Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin had spent months preparing for this moment. They knew the risks. Escaping from Alcatraz, the most secure prison in the country, was considered impossible, but they were determined to try. The planning Frank Morris was the mastermind behind the plan. With a high IQ and a history of escape attempts from other prisons, he was no ordinary inmate. The Anglin brothers, known for their expertise in bank robbery, were skilled swimmers and craftsmen. Together, they formed a team that meticulously planned every detail of the escape. Their plan began with digging. Using sharpened spoons, makeshift chisels, and stolen drill bits, they carved holes around the ventilation grates in their cell. The walls of Alcatraz were made of concrete, but years of moisture had weakened them, making it possible to dig through. To mask the noise, they worked in sync with the loud evening music played in the prison. The men created a secret workshop in a utility corridor behind their cell. They accessed this space through the holes they had dug and used it to store tools and construct their escape equipment. One of the most ingenious parts of their plan was the creation of fake heads. Using soap, toilet paper, and human hair collected from the prison barbershop, they crafted realistic dummy heads. These would be placed in their beds to fool the guards during night checks. They also collected raincoats to make a raft. Over time, they stole and stitched together over 50 raincoats using a homemade glue. They also built paddles from stolen wood and cardboard, preparing for the dangerous journey across the bay. As the days passed, tensions ran high. Every night, they listened intently for the guards' footstep, carefully hiding their tools and work each time a patrol came near. They knew that one small mistake could bring their entire plan crashing down. The escape. On the night of June 11th, everything was in place. The men waited until lights out, then carefully removed the grates from their cell. One by one, they squeezed through the openings and crawled into the narrow service corridor behind their cell. They had practiced this maneuver repeatedly to ensure a smooth execution. Once in the corridor, they moved quickly but cautiously. They climbed a series of pipes leading to the roof, careful not to make any noise that could alert the guards. The prison was heavily patrolled, and any mistake could mean the end of their escape. Reaching the roof, they crawled across to avoid being spotted by the watchtowers. The night was cold, and the wind howled around them, but they pressed on. They descended down a 50-foot exterior wall using a network of pipes, and then crossed a fenced area near the prison yard. At the shore, their final challenge awaited them. They had secretly built a raft and life vests from stolen raincoats, carefully glued and sewn together. They inflated the raft using a makeshift bellows made from an old concertina, a small accordion-like instrument. Once the raft was ready, they climbed aboard and paddled into the dark waters of the San Francisco Bay. The water was freezing, and the currents were strong. They knew that any mistake could cost them their lives. Battling exhaustion, they paddled through the darkness, aiming for Angel Island, which was 2 miles away. If they could reach the island, they planned to steal clothes and a car to make their getaway complete. The aftermath: by morning, the prison was in chaos. The guards discovered the dummy heads in the beds and sounded the alarm. A massive manhunt was launched. The FBI, Coast Guard, and local authorities scoured the area, searching for any trace of the escaped convicts. The waters of the bay were cold and treacherous. Some experts believed that no one could survive the strong currents and frigid temperatures. Pieces of the makeshift raft were later found washed up on Angel Island, about 2 miles from Alcatraz. A plastic-wrapped wallet belonging to one of the Anglin brothers was also discovered. However, there was no conclusive evidence that they had perished in the water. The FBI conducted one of the longest manhunts in U.S. history. They interviewed witnesses, examined leads, and even analyzed reports of sightings from different parts of the world. Despite these efforts, the escapees were never found. Over the years, theories and speculation continued to swirl. Some experts argued that the men had drowned, while others believed they had successfully made it to shore and vanished into society. The Anglin family, in particular, insisted that John and Clarence had survived, producing letters and photographs as evidence. The mystery lives on. In 2013, the FBI received received an unusual letter. The writer claimed to be John Anglin, stating that he had been alive and in hiding for decades. The letter said that Frank Morris had died in 2008 and that Clarence had passed away in 2011. The writer offered to turn himself in exchange for medical treatment, but authorities were unable to verify its authenticity. Adding to the mystery, the Anglin family produced photographs they claimed showed John and Clarence alive years after the escape. Some experts believe the brothers successfully made it to Brazil, as suggested by a family friend who had reportedly helped them. The case remains open, and even today, authorities are open to new leads. Could the three men have pulled off the impossible? Did they live out their days in secrecy, far from the watchful eyes of the law? Or did the frigid waters of San Francisco Bay claim them that fateful night? The Alcatraz escape remains one of the most fascinating prison breaks in history. Whether they survived or perished, their story continues to inspire books, documentaries, and films. The mystery endures, capturing the imagination of people around the world. Did the three men outsmart the system, or did the treacherous waters take their lives? What do you think happened to them? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible true crime stories.